All right, guys, here we go. We're at it again. And the media, well, they're already warming up the parade music, apparently celebrating some kind of deal that the president has announced with Iran. There's a lot of them that are already on their way to criticizing the president. I saw some chat very early on about the deal being a failure, even though we don't really know what the deal is yet. And I'm glad that we don't, because that means that the leaks have been cut out of the White House. I put a poll in the chat. Do you support a deal with Iran? Yes, no, or I trust the president. So vote on that. Feel free to leave a comment down below. But Trump is saying that there is a deal that is almost finalized. The Strait of Hormuz could reopen. Iran will pause enrichment of uranium. The uranium stockpile, it looks like that's still on the table. And right on cue, the same people who were wrong about the Middle East for decades, Mike Pompeo, Nikki Haley, Barack Obama, the laundry list goes on. Those same people want you to believe the headlines and stop asking questions. But we're going to ask all the questions. I've got a lot of links basically showing some of the breadcrumbs that's coming through. But President Trump may have just forced Iran to the negotiating table. That matters. That's not nothing. Iran does not come to the table because they suddenly found peace in their hearts. They come to the table when pressure works, when deterrent works, when the military strikes work, when they realize the cost of continuing the fight there is too expensive for them. But here's where we have to be careful. I believe that a deal with Iran is not measured by a press release. I don't believe it's measured by a handshake. I don't believe it's measured by some carefully worded diplomatic statement designed to make everybody feel good. That's not the way that I think this works. I think a deal works by one thing. What did Iran actually give up? And I don't believe we're going to know what they gave up until the president comes out and makes us aware, because I don't trust the news media. But do you think Iran is going to give up enriched uranium? Do you think they'll give up allowing inspectors to go have full access? Are the mines cleared from the Strait of Hormuz? Are American sailors safer? Is global shipping going to be able to move freely? We have reports this morning that 30 tankers have already made their way through the Strait of Hormuz this morning. Now, there's some consequences, because if Tehran cheats, do the consequences hit automatically, or do we end up in another endless round of meetings and Zoom calls and, email exchanges? Hillary Clinton, right? That's where I'm at, because I want to be honest with you. What Iran does matters, because they can create a crisis. They can create a world energy supply. They can rattle their nuclear sabers. They can cause a lot of disruption in the Strait of Hormuz, and they cause a lot of disruption for the entire world. So that's their game. They create a problem, then they demand concessions for becoming slightly less dangerous. Now, I think if the president carries through on what I believe is happening and has forced Iran into a real concession, if the Strait of Hormuz reopens, if Iran's uranium stockpile is removed or dismantled under real verification, then that is a major strategic win. That is peace through strength. I saw somebody earlier complaining about Minnesota. Trump had abandoned Minnesota. No, your state abandoned Minnesota. Your state leadership abandoned Minnesota. The president of the United States is all about states' rights. And if your state sucks, well, do something about it locally. You are probably going to get Amy Klobuchar in Minnesota, and I hope that you're out campaigning against her. If not, don't complain with an empty wallet. Now, with Iran, if they get sanctions relief where they turn loose some of this money, if they're allowed to bring in more oil revenue and we get some flow back, you're going to see a major drop in gas prices today. And I think by holding Iran's feet to the fire, This allows us to leverage our military deterrence, and it shows the world that our military deterrence works. And if Iran agrees to turn over the uranium, that shows the world that they had it. Because for a long time, everybody's like, they don't have any uranium. But that's where I'm at right now, okay? And the headline, Trump's Iran deal is nearly done. The real question is, did Iran blink or did they just buy another 60 days? We're going to see. We're going to get through a lot of that this morning. Make sure that if you value clear, no spin sort of analysis with a little bit of salt, make sure you subscribe and share the video. Join the channel as a member to help keep this mission going. And I want to show you an X post that the President of the United States just put out this morning. And thank you for all tuning in. Let me grab a little bit of a cup of coffee here. All right, so we're going to get through this. This was posted about 20 minutes ago. One of the worst deals ever made by our country was the Iran nuclear deal, put forth and signed into existence by Barack Hussein Obama. He likes to use his middle name, doesn't he? It was direct path to Iran developing a nuclear weapon. It's complete. I'm just going to summarize this. It's the exact opposite of what the Trump administration's trying to do. The negotiations are proceeding in an orderly, constructive manner. He's informed his representatives not to rush to a deal. The blockade will remain in full force and effect until an agreement is reached, certified, and signed. Both sides must take their time, get it right. Can be no mistakes. I would like to thank thus far all of the countries of the Middle East for their support and cooperation by joining the nations of the historic Abraham Accords. And who knows, perhaps the Islamic Republic of Iran would like to join as well. So that's what the president put out this morning, just minutes ago. And I'm glad to see this. But there were some other people last night that put out some information that I believe is amazing, that they put something out and they're trying to torpedo the current administration. This guy, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, the deal being floated with Iran seems straight out of the Wendy Sherman, Robert Malley, Ben Rhodes playbook. That was the Obama playbook. Pay the IRGC to build a WMDB program, terrorize the world. I don't think anything that the president put on his X post had anything about this. Now, the funny part is Stephen Chung, one of Donald Trump's longest and most trusted advisors, ratioed Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo has no idea what the F he's talking about. He should shut his stupid mouth and leave the real work to the professionals. He's not read into anything. That's true. The president took his security clearance. So how would he know? I'm going to say this. That is straight right out of the Rush Limbaugh playbook right there. When you have Stephen Chung coming out and ratioing this clown, Mike Pompeo. Because Mike Pompeo, just like other entities, I want to say entities, I'm trying to be nice, it's a Sunday morning, they are going to try and come out and torpedo this whole thing. News agencies like The Hill, White House says ex-Secretary of State Pompeo should shut his stupid mouth. I'm glad that came out. I really respect Stephen Chung more for saying that. I met Stephen, super nice guy. He looks like Odd Job from the James Bond movies, but I'm so glad that he came out and just basically kicked dirt in this guy. You've got the Drudge Report, they're melting down, Cruz defying the Dawn, disses Iran. So you've got the Drudge Report. When the Drudge Report is upset, America's winning. I mean, that's the real one. That is the real answer there. And it's so good to see. It feels so good when major wins are happening and the people that hate America are losing their minds. Now I've got reports here coming out of Iran. Iran has not agreed to hand over enriched uranium. This was 6 hours ago. The post from Truth Social from the president was 20 minutes ago. So obviously they're lagging. I don't believe we can really trust Iran, but I think that we want to get to that point of maybe not trusting, but verifying. And those are two different things. You can trust, but verify. If you blindly trust, then you're kind of allowing them to control the narrative. This was an X post from True Social 2 hours ago with the president posting a looks like a Reaper drone, and it's shooting at some of the Iranian Navy. And this is the president this morning. So the headline is peace. The fine print is leverage. And the question is whether Trump forced Iran into a real concession or whether Iran just gave up enough to reopen the pipeline, reopen the Strait of Hormuz while keeping the nuclear question alive. I believe we're going to see something happen today that is going to change history. It's going to change policy in the Middle East. I don't believe anybody else could have probably done this with the exception of the current president. We're also going to talk about this MAGA white conservative that took shots at the White House. I'm being very facetious, but that's the narrative that CNN ran with. It was just a white guy. So thank you for tuning in. Let's roll.
Yeah, hey, Charlie, good morning. Overnight, President Trump announced that an agreement with Iran has been largely negotiated. The president indicated there are still some details and aspects that have to be worked out, but he does anticipate there will be an announcement soon. A regional source who has reviewed the agreement told Fox News the deal states that U.S. forces will stay in the proximity of Iran for 30 days. The context here is that it signals to Iran that the military option remains on the table if nuclear issues aren't resolved or the interim agreement is violated. The source added that as part of the deal, Iran will receive oil sanctions waivers. Iran will also have frozen funds and assets eventually released worth billions of dollars. On Saturday, President Trump held a call that included leaders from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Egypt, Jordan, Turkey, and Pakistan, aimed at reaching a broader understanding. A separate regional diplomat told Fox News the call was very positive. Good progress is being made, adding that regional leaders were supportive of the progress and of the breakthrough President Trump achieved with the talks. We are still awaiting all of the final details of the understanding, but President Trump.
So we don't have all of the details yet, and that's important. Until we really know. Here we go. Victor, this has been a complete and total failure up to this point. Economies are in shambles. We have nothing for it. Victor, were you expecting a check in the mail? Is that what you were expecting? I don't know what your expectations are. Probably unattainable. But let me ask you this, and this question, I'll pose it to the chat. I'll pose the chat to Victor specifically. Victor, what happened to the previous 47 years of presidents? What happened to all those other presidents? Because right now it seems like it's very, very easy to blame the one president that's taking action and not blame the people that have been in power for so long. That is what I think is amazing to see. And when people just come out and blame Trump, the same people that will blame the president of the United States for everything and not doing enough will oftentimes be the same people that want the federal government out of their lives. Like, I don't want the federal government in my life. But then on the other side of the coin, they will blame the president for not doing enough. And a lot of these other presidents, they were kicking the can down the road because they were scared. I think that's where I'm at right now. And usually the squeakiest wheels get the most oil. And people like Victor want to just complain. And I'm picking on Victor, but I know there's others that are just like this. They can never accept a small win. They can never accept a victory. You don't have to win the week or the month. You got to win the day. And if you win the day with this negotiation, and then you win 2 days, and then you win 3 days, and before you know it, you have strung together a week of success. And a week of success in the Middle East is huge. I mean, that's just the way it is there. And I'm sure Victor is an expert on Middle East policy. He probably lives in the Middle East, could very well be a diplomat. I'm sure Victor is a diplomat for Iran, and he is just dropping into the chat here to share some knowledge with us. And Victor, we appreciate your expertise on everything. Now, this is an article coming out of the Telegraph this morning, and I find this very interesting, what they are laying out about what Iran will give up. They're saying Iran will surrender the uranium stockpile. Just by saying that they are going to give up the uranium, it confirms that they have uranium. And that is what none of them would ever admit before, right? And I love the trolls. Moderators, do not ban anyone, please. I love the banter in the chat. I love the banter in the chat. Now, this goes on to say Iran has agreed to surrender its stockpile of highly enriched uranium. The deal includes an apparent commitment to giving up the uranium. I'd like to get your thoughts on that. I think this is a win. If we get the uranium, if we get the Strait open back up, and we get some level of accountability on what Iran is making, constructing, enriching, I think that's a win. If you think that's a win, press 1 for yes, 2 for no. I'm not saying this deal is perfect because I haven't seen it. And until I see it completely, how would I criticize the deal? How would I sit here and criticize something that is nothing so far except conjecture? I think I see a lot of 1s. I see some 2s. You're okay with disagreeing with what you don't know. I think that's what people are complaining about. You're complaining about an answer that you haven't seen yet. It's like somebody was given a test. You don't know if you've passed or failed the test, but you're already complaining that you failed. Come on, man. Really? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to criticize something that we don't know yet? It goes back to some people will never be happy about anything that this president does. They will just never be happy. I'm going to show you a panel of some people here that will never be happy. I'm going to refill my coffee cup. I got my ditto head coffee cup out of I had to knock the dust off of this thing. Let's play this clip.
It's Ted Cruz. It's Mike Pompeo. What do you, and earlier Tom Tillis. What do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't get ahead of the president on it. And what I've heard Secretary Rubio say this morning is that the administration, the president, would never sign off on a deal that didn't have an end result of his principal objective, which is no nuclear weapons for Iran. That's the number one issue. That's what they've engaged in this activity for. So I'd be shocked if they don't have a way to get to an ultimate scenario where Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. And if Iran is serious about that, that's great. I'm dubious. I don't know that we'll ever have peace with these people. I mean, they chant death to America. I don't think they're going to wake up one day and decide that that was wrong and change their minds about that. So calling this a peace deal, to me, what you're trying to put in place is a situation where you have a security situation and a monitoring situation to keep them from ever being able to actually bring death to America. That's why I think the mission was righteous in the first place. So for me, number one issue, no nuclear weapons for Iran. I hope we get there.
That is my number one issue. No nukes for Iran. Everything else to me seems like a bonus. That's just my opinion. And Scott Jennings lays it out. A lot of folks want to jump to conclusions. My advice, don't get ahead of the president because we don't know. We don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know the answer to the ebony and ivory question, and it's a very wordy question at that. We're streaming on Facebook, X, Rumble, all the different platforms. So make sure you go follow us on all of those. It really helps the algorithm and it triggers the hell out of people like Victor, which I'm really, really pleased about. Now, I will play a clip here that's probably going to upset Victor. It's going to talk a little bit about his messiah, Barack Hussein Obama. And I want you to hear this, and I want you to note the differences here. Let's go.
Let's not underappreciate the fact that Iran, had they wanted to, probably could have assembled a nuclear device at any point in the last decade or so in a matter of some months, right?
And that is because Obama's Iran nuclear deal was a failure. And Victor, I'm sorry that you voted for Obama 2 or 3 times, but I'm sure that you probably did. And there's probably some other people in the chat that voted for Obama. And now that the information's coming out that Obama's deal enabled Iran to have this uranium, probably given to them by Hillary Clinton, and I'm sure Victor's probably upset about that as well. But that's just the way it is. And if we can come to some level of a peace treaty where both parties sign a memorandum of understanding that will last 60 days, during that 60-day period, the Strait of Hormuz will be open, no toll fees. Iran will agree to clear the mines that they say they don't know where they're at. They quit launching speedboat attacks at everything. In the return, we allow ships to come out and we allow Iran to sell oil. That's going to lower oil prices here in America. That's what I think. I'd love to get your opinion on that. Is that a good win for you? I just want to let's do this. Is this a good deal so far? And I'm putting so far because of what we know so far. We don't know the exact deal yet. But I would like to know what you think so far. No nukes and Iran has zero say in the coming and goings of the Strait. Stu Glenn, I agree with that. I completely agree. That is a win, on my opinion. That's a victory right now. And it's more than any other president has ever achieved with Iran. More than anyone's ever achieved. And I think it's great. Let's see here. Tina, I agree with you, Tina. I've not heard the whole deal. But what I know so far, the information that's coming out so far, I think it's a good idea. I think we're on the right path to holding them accountable. And that's what needs to happen. We need to have a level of accountability inside of Iran. We haven't before. The one thing that I believe that the president has accomplished right now is he has shown the world how useless NATO is. He has showed the world how useless that people that we thought were our allies are, because we've got a lot of useless allies that are riding the coattails of America, basically just allowing us to protect them. That's what has been happening for too damn long. That's what's been occurring for too long. And I think the president, do you agree? No nukes for Iran. I agree 100%, John, 100%. IRGC never won a war, but never lost at negotiation. That's been one of my quotes since the very beginning. And I think this time, if there's anyone that can prove me wrong, it's probably the guy that is the president. It's probably that guy. That's my thought process on this. But if we get the Straits of Hormuz open, if we get some level of order in that area, it's more than anybody else has accomplished. I don't think you'll convince me otherwise. Anyone aside from me here? Jamie, we're all here. Thank you, Jamie. We can't leave Iran looking weak in any way. Howard, I agree with that. I don't believe we're leaving anything. I don't think we're leaving anything. Now, there's a lot of outlets that are going to just run with this as a failure. Oh, wow. Sebastian Gorka just chimed in on Mike Pompeo. I got to see this. I just got an alert. Responding to Mike Pompeo's thoughts about the deal. Gorka, you have no knowledge of what's being negotiated in secret. If you did, you would be in possession of information illegally provided to you and which you are wholly unauthorized to have or share. So are you a criminal or a liar? Man, Trump released the hounds on Mike Pompeo. Stephen Chung, Sebastian Gorka. Oh, man, I am all about this. Now, I want to show you something else. And I think the president is on to something whenever Lindsey Graham is upset. Warmonger Lindsey Graham attacks Trump as he seeks to end the war. Now, Lindsey's not very welcome in the Middle East because they don't like people with his sexuality or his sexual preference, allegedly, ladybugs. Google ladybugs, Lindsey Graham, and tell me what you think. But this article, warmonger Lindsey Graham attacks Trump as he seeks to end the war in Iran. Now, this right here, if you were convinced that something was wrong, this should explain everything. I'm smiling because I'm so happy to see Lindsey Graham upset. And I'm sure he's got a rip boy over there making him feel better. But what do you think about this? Let's see here. Rhino Warmonger. That has a ring to it. Rhino Warmonger Lindsey Graham took a swipe at Trump as he attempts to reach a deal. He attacked any potential deal, suggesting it would consider surrender that concedes dominance to Iran. Okay, now I'm even more happy that a deal is in negotiations. Here's the X post from Lindsey. Let's go here. If a deal is struck to end the Iranian conflict because it's believed the Strait of Hormuz cannot be protected, it makes you wonder why the war started to begin with. If these perceptions are accurate, I personally am a skeptic of the idea. It's important we get it right. I think Lindsey Graham just wants to bomb people. That's what I think Lindsey wants to do. I don't think Lindsey Graham's ever seen a war that he didn't support. He's probably got stocks in Lockheed Martin. What is this? I've got to go ahead and delete Sleeping Giant. Sleeping Giant. I'm sorry. You're gonna bit flush. There we go. Sleeping Giant. There you go. Let's grab some comments here. And I want to grab some comments about the Lindsey Graham. Let's see here. Mike, I think I talked a buddy out of a bass guitar. Whoa, thank you very much. I'll be sending that to some veterans or a veteran that would like to learn to play a bass guitar. James, good morning, Ben. What do you think about all the black pillars like Alex Jones? What I've seen is Trump is on the right track. These doomers are still crying. He wants to know why. James, I think the reason that the doomers are still crying because outrage gets clicks. Raging about how bad the president gets clicks. It's popular. That's just the way it is. YouTube will push that. Social media would push that. Scoop gifted a membership. Thank you very much. We always try to get 10 memberships. And if you get a membership, you get access to the Discord. Thank you very much for that. Scoop, how dare you? And James, how dare you? And Mike, boom shakalaka. Let's see here. Justin, look up Proverbs 16:7. It's perfect for this. I will look that up. James just gave away some memberships. Thank you, James. Real KRO, catching up, was in the hospital, then rehab, home now. God bless you. Real KRO, God bless you. I want to grab some other comments here. Do you think send Graham back to Disneyland with his little bubble machine? Yeah, that's true. The Doomers are just another faction of Trans Tifa. I think you're probably right about that. Seeing Lindsey Graham upset, does that change your mind about this? I stepped away from watching Alex Jones till he wakes up. Alex is probably too far gone. There might not be any coming back for some of these black pill, doom pill people, and they rely on low information audiences is what they rely on. They rely on people that won't do their own research. They rely on people that will just run with the latest outrage. That's what I believe. That's just my thoughts. And I believe some networks operate the same way. I don't know. It's a weird thing that the way that they have created their machines, but their machines are very effective. They're very effective for pushing misinformation. They're very effective for pushing outrage. That's where we're at. I want to get a little bit into what happened yesterday. We all know that there were shots fired outside of the White House. We all know that that was obviously a white male conservative that did that, right? It was definitely a white male conservative. We got some more memberships coming in from Terry, looks like an Air Force veteran. If you are a veteran of the military, or if you have a family member or a friend that is not with us anymore, and that's what Memorial Day is for. It's not Veterans Day, it's Memorial Day, to memorialize those that have gone before us that paid the ultimate price, wrote the full check, the full measure. Make sure you put their names in the chat and maybe their branch of service, right? Do that. Let's see here. I guess I've probably just got to ban this guy again. There we go. Put user, goodbye, Johnny. Just don't really need you. CV43, Coral C. So yeah, make sure you put the branch of service of any friends or family members that you may be thinking about today that you would like recognized. I would happy to do that. So let's go here. So this incident outside of the White House yesterday, suspect in the shooting near the White House has been identified as 21-year-old Nasiri Best. He believed he was Jesus Christ. Okay. And obviously a white male, correct? White male. That's kind of what we're going with here. The way that they report this is disgusting. The way that the news media runs with some of this stuff. And here we go. This is a CNN report here. The suspect appears to be a white male who was a Trump supporter. There you go. Right? That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Let me play you this clip here. This will bring back some disgusting memories for some of you that follow CNN, but it's very hilarious.
Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive device.
Republicans say Muslims don't belong here after an attempted terror attack against New York's Mayor Zohran Mamdani, and the House Speaker Mike Johnson says nothing really to condemn those comments.
Why is it so hard to believe that someone could be an exceptional athlete and a woman? If you want to protect women and daughters, she is a woman, she is somebody's daughter, and she's a woman in sports. And it just conjures up that old statement, ain't I a woman?
President Biden has spent days locked in intense preparation, surrounded by his closest advisors at Camp David. And our sources are telling us tonight that full mock debates are underway at the podium, under the lights. He's even watching tape to know exactly what he's going to see when he steps up to that lectern. His team shot a video during a walkthrough of the CNN studio. And as I reported while covering him at the White House, when Biden prepares, he does so incredibly intensively. The former president, on the other hand, who is not known for his attention to detail, is talking about how very hard it is to prepare, while at the same time insisting he doesn't need it.
Brian,
You can't hate the news media enough, can you? You really can't. How they try to justify some of this radical ideology. Somebody said it's priceless. Sick of code speak. I don't know what code speak is. Sorry, I try not to speak code. Oh wait, I saw this. John Cunningham, United States Marines. Ernest Balecki. Sorry about that if I butchered that name. I'm not the best with that. I am from Lower Alabama, so there you go. But what are your thoughts on the way the news media is working? It just seems like the news media is in a constant tailspin. I believe that part of that is because of our current president doesn't leak, or he's cut off the leaks from various outlets, which I'm very happy to see. The news media is consistently chasing the tail. They don't know what's happening, so they just go with what has always worked. Conservative white male shooter outside of the White House. And then when they get caught, then they have to come back. Well, they should come back, and they don't. They do not. They never correct themselves. It's pitiful that they don't correct themselves, and it's more pitiful that we don't hold them accountable enough to do that. That's kind of my thoughts on the way the news media works. It's the same way with the Thomas Masseys. It's the same way with the Marjorie Taylor Greens. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's America first. So America first, she fled to Costa Rica. Thomas Massey, he was going to do so much with the Epstein files, and then he outed 4 of the wrong people, and should probably be sued into oblivion for defamation of character and all of that. That will probably never happen. It's just like this Mike Pompeo. It's like Lindsey Graham. They put out information that is just complete garbage, and, and they're allowed to get away with it. We don't hold them accountable enough. Okay. Ronald Lee Weeks, World War II, United States Navy, Ross Weeks. Trumpers to the mark. I don't know what that means. Trumpers to the mark. Okay. Yeah. Maybe they hate Trump so much. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's go. I think I'm going to just have to do it again. Let's go here. Let's see. Hide user on the channel. There you go. Goodbye, Johnny. There you go. Goodbye. Let's go ahead and flush them. I just can't deal with retards. It's too early. So we've got a lot going on. The president is in a constant battle with misinformation, in a constant battle with the anti-American doomers. We know that. There's a guy, I found a clip here that I want to share, and this is coming out of Kentucky. A guy by the name of Barr, I believe is his name. And I don't know how many Kentucky voters we've got here. His name is, let's see here. Barr, Representative Andy Barr released a campaign ad attacking DEI, saying it's not a sin to be white. Well, MSDNC is losing their minds over this. And I think it's amazing that you would ever criticize someone for saying it's not a sin to be a white guy. And here's the ad. Let me see if I can find the ad, the full ad right here. Kentucky Republican. Yeah, here we go. Here's the Andy Barr ad. I want you to listen to this. I think it's a great advertisement. If I was in Kentucky, I'd vote for this guy.
You know what DEI really stands for? Dumb, evil indoctrination. Woke liberals spew it, corporate losers fall for it. But thanks to Trump, America is rejecting that trash. And I'm leading the fight to end it for good. I'm Andy Barr, It's not a sin to be white. It's not against the law to be male. And it shouldn't be disqualifying to be a Christian. I'm Andy Barr, and I approve this message to give woke liberals something else to cry about.
I love this. This right now, this is probably a 10 out of a 10 for me. If you're in Kentucky and this is your guy, I really feel sorry for you. I want you to see some of the reaction from MSDNC.
A lot of backlash for a campaign ad where he tells Kentuckians, quote, "It's not a sin to be white." Watch this.
You know what DEI really stands for? Dumb, evil indoctrination. Woke liberals
Dumb, evil indoctrination. I like all of it.
spew it, corporate losers fall for it. But thanks to Trump, America is rejecting that trash. And I'm leading the fight to end it for good. I'm Andy Barr. It's not a sin to be white. It's not against the law to be male. And it shouldn't be disqualifying to be a Christian. I'm Andy Barr, and I approve this message to give woke liberals something else to cry about.
I actually think that's a wonderful ad. I don't understand the issue. Look, under Biden and under the DEI CRT agenda, there has been this constant theme of just because there's disparity among different racial groups, there's discrimination. And that has caused people to disenfranchise themselves from their whiteness, from their Christian.
Do you believe, I believe this young kid is right. There's a lot of people that were guilted into voting for Obama, there were a lot of people that voted for Obama because he was the first black candidate. He was actually half white. He was the first half white candidate with brown skin, and they thought that they could vote for Obama and relieve some of this white guilt. I believe that's where the white guilt started. And I believe that it's continued. And the Democrat Party has relied on white guilt for too long. They have used white guilt to leverage people to voting for them. And now it doesn't work anymore, or it's not working right now. And I believe that is scaring the hell out of the Democrat Party. I believe it's scaring the Democrat National Committee. I believe it's scaring all of them because they are running out of other options to convince people to vote for them. I would love for somebody in the chat, if you could give me an actual policy, an actual campaign policy point that the Democrat Party has right now. Robert, Vietnam veteran, Robert Kromzak. I know I'm bad at last names. 2 honorable discharge, not with us any war, was the best father in the world. Miss you, Dad. James, shout out to your father and thank you for his service. Fantastic. Mama Bear Mary Ann, new member. We always try to get 10 new members on the channel. If you become a member on the channel, you get access to a Discord server. It's a private chat group. And I would appreciate that. And it's just, somebody says one of their policies is tax the rich. Okay. Orange man bad. I see that that's another policy. So we've got tax the rich, orange man bad, white dudes bad. What else? I don't know of any other, policy points. Robert Johnson, USS Scorpion, SSN 589. That's just happened the anniversary was just like 2 days ago, I believe, for that. I love being white. Don't really care what other people are. I don't either. Howard's Garden says trans for everyone. That's a Democrat talking point. I'm going to agree with you on that too. That is a policy point that the Democrat Party has held for a long time. It's funny as hell, but that's what they do. They hold on to the same old agenda. Somebody says, Henry Grady Thurman, U.S. Army medic, died in Anzio. Wow, that was brutal. Wow. Thank you for his service there, Tony. Appreciate you. I hope that's a relative. Let illegals vote. That's another policy point that they've got. I've got a poll in the chat. Is it a sin to be white? 3% of the people in the chat believe it is a sin to be white. Okay. We are at that point in the show where I need to probably just vomit if somebody thinks it's a sin to be white. Christians bad. That's another policy point. We're kind of running through all of the policies that the Democrat Party has right now. It's sad that we can list them out in such a disgusting and vile method that they're so true, but I believe you're right. I'm about 1,000% with you that we are right and they're wrong. And to quote Andrew Wilkow, I think the arguments on this show can't be broken. I do want to show you a clip here of Marco Rubio. He was in India. He's making the world tour right now, and he's in India, and he said something here that's going to upset some of the H-1B visa people.
We've had a migratory crisis in the United States. This is not because of India, but broadly, we had over 20 million people illegally enter the United States over the last few years, and we've had to address that challenge. In addition to that challenge, and I think this is true for India, this is true for every country in the world, okay? Everything that you do as a country needs to be in your national interest, and that includes your immigration policy. The United States, I believe, is the most welcoming country in the world on immigration. Every single year, 1 million people, roughly, become permanent residents of the United States and contribute greatly. My parents entered the United States as permanent residents in 1956 from Cuba. And so it's a process that's enriched us. But it has to be a process that's adjusted in every era to the realities of the modern times in which you.
This was great. He was in India talking to people about this H-1B visa program. And this is getting reined in, and I'm glad it's getting reined in. And I believe the only president that had the guts to do it was Donald Trump. And it's going to make a hell of a lot of difference coming up. And I'm glad that Rubio laid out that his parents came here in 56 from Cuba, permanent residents. So good for him. I think we've got a good Secretary of State right now. I don't believe that the previous Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, was worth a whole lot of anything. But I'd love to get your opinion on what we've got going on this morning. The lines are open, 615-475-7864. Victor, I hope you call in. I would love to hear you express your opinion on why, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that would like to know why you don't like what the president has accomplished. There's a lot of people that can complain and never back anything up, which is what we're starting to see, is people just constantly complaining. And they never have any real answers. They never really have any real ideas of their own, but they're great at being critics. Great at being critics. And being a critic is really easy. Let's grab this here. Let's go. Liberal policy, waste, fraud, and abuse, open borders, the transmission mechanic surgery for prisoners. Yeah. That's keeping with campaign promises from the Democrat Party. Let's go right here. Line 1. What do you got? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Ben, from San Francisco.
Whoa. Are you allowed to even call a conservative show from San Francisco? What the heck is on there?
Well, you know how rebels are.
Oh, you're a rebel. What would you like to say this morning?
Well, a couple of things. First, I don't think Iran will make a deal. I think we'll have to take the uranium because so much like the Democrats, and I do believe that the Democrats had a hand in them getting it. But if we have the uranium, the scientists would be able to know where it came from.
Really?
So I don't think that they're going to willingly give it up because they're like the Democrats. They stick together. And I think the Democrats are with, the politicians, not all Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I don't think they're going to make that deal.
Well, thank you for
And
calling, brother.
well, could I get something else?
Sure, make it quick. We've got them lined up.
Okay. I'm hoping that you'll put your outro song in a single video, because so many people I'll send your video to, but the length of it, they're not going to get to it.
Okay.
And
I will.
And third, one last thing, please. I do not have a bank account, and I would like to send cash to join.
Send me an
I'm
email. I'll send you
curious
the address.
Okay, send it to this phone number.
You betcha. Take care, buddy. I appreciate you. So he doesn't think Iran will ever come to a deal. I think he might be right. I hope he's wrong. I hope he's wrong. Somebody said uranium has a forensic footprint. Is that true? That you can tell where it came from if they examine it? Wonder how worried Hillary Clinton is right now. The Democrats are paving the way for another MAGA president, real ninja. It seems like they could be. It really seems like they could be. They're pushing more people to the conservative side. Look at Fetterman. I don't know if I trust Fetterman, but look at how conservative he looks in relation to the regular Democrat Party. Somebody said, Victor, come on. Victor, I would welcome your phone call. I don't care where you're calling from. I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care about your political opinion. But if you've got something counterintuitive to say, go ahead. Feel free. Let's see here. The White House is coming out with a statement now. Does not expect an agreement to end the war with Iran on Sunday. Believes approval by Iran's leadership, including the supreme leader, Khomeini, could take several days. U.S. officials remain optimistic. A real deal could be signed within days, but says it's not been finalized and could still collapse. Okay, so the White House is even coming out and saying that this deal could still collapse. All right. I'm glad they're being realistic. I'm glad that the president is being realistic about what's happening. Let's see here. What do we got? Spencer Pratt. I wish the city of Los Angeles the very best. I am not tracking a lot of that. I hate to say it. I don't have any faith in California making the right decision, but maybe they do. What does that say? You can trust Iran like you can trust a cottonmouth. You know, I was bit by a water moccasin whenever I was a kid, so I completely get that. I completely agree with that revelation of not trusting them. You're 1,000% right about that, Nikki. Let's see here. I was hoping to get some updates coming across the wire from some different information, but it doesn't look like it. I do see that the U.S. military is to remain in close proximity of Iran for the next 60 days, 30 to 60 days. So that's a huge one. Every element has a fingerprint. I did not know that. They can tell where copper's mined from, zinc, uranium, all have a specific source and makeup. Patch, call in. What does that say? Piss off. It was an honest question. I have no idea. You're more than welcome to call in and ask your question on the phone, just like everyone else. And I like talking to people that have some good varying viewpoints. We got about 2,000 people watching. We're streaming on X, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, Getter, Facebook, everywhere. And you're all welcome. You don't have to worry about any of that. I want to check some of the liberal stations here and see what they are running with, because it's always funny. 50,000 people have been evacuated in California about that chemical plant. That is still an ongoing problem there that I doubt their governor does anything. White House shooting, CNN reporter describes moments. Yeah, we know that. Trump endorses Consumer sentiment hits all-time low. Of course, they just can't put out anything positive, can they? Grimwrath out in Arizona. What do you got at Grimwrath?
Well, buddy, how have you been?
Great. What would you like to say this morning, sir?
Well, I would like to do two things. First, I would like to say I can't and won't trust Iran as far as I can throw them.
Okay.
And then second, I just want to warn everybody that's listening, please be very careful about who and what you do on your phone. My phone number, my bank account, and all 9 of my credit cards got stolen this last month, and it has taken me 4 weeks to get this shit straightened out and back on track. So please, everybody that's listening, please make sure your security guards are on your phones, your computers, your laptops. These people are ruthless, and they will rob you blind.
Well, thank you for calling, brother. God bless you. Let's go line 2. What do you got?
Good morning, Ben. It's old Grumpy. Nice talking to you again.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, you know, as far as Iranian or uranium deal, yeah, they would be able to tell exactly where that uranium came from the isotopes in their uranium.
Okay.
And, well, we all know that Miss Clinton gave away a lot of our uranium to Russia during the Uranium One deal, and Iran and Russia has been buddies on that kind of stuff for a long time.
You know, I don't think you're wrong there. I know over the last couple of weeks that we have taken, I want to say it was thousands of pounds of uranium out of Venezuela, and I think that's to keep it out of the wrong hands there as well. So I hope that something else happens like this. I hope Iran comes to the deal, comes to the table and signs this, because I don't want to see American boots on the ground in Iran. I don't want to see that.
Well, I told you when this first started, we're going to probably wind up putting boots on the ground because, like you're in your own words, Iran's never lost a negotiation.
They haven't. No, they really haven't. Now, I don't know if they've ever negotiated with somebody that wrote a book called The Art of the Deal, but we're going to see what happens. Grumpy, I appreciate you calling, brother. You take care. I think anything that we accomplish going forward with Iran, if we accomplish anything going forward, that removes them from the ability of having a nuclear weapon, removes their ability to control the Strait of Hormuz, that removes their leverage on the world's economy, while at the same time not putting American troops boots on the ground. That's a win for me. Let's go line 3. Eunice, what you got?
Hey, Ben, how are you, dear?
Amazing.
I just got a message for all your lovely trolls like Patch and Victor and Elijah and all the rest
Please
of them.
be clean. It's a Sunday morning.
I am. I have been clean right along, and I have been very respectful as far as I'm going to be to them. But the president has to do what's best for the United States of America.
That's true.
He knows what he's doing. And I will not tolerate any disrespect. You can have a different opinion, but it's how you say it and what you do with it. I'm not going to apologize for being white. I'm proud of it. My husband was Spanish. He was a Vietnam vet, and actually today is his birthday. He died for this country. And I want to say thank you to all the vets, the military, and Ben, thank you. But if we don't support our president, we don't support ourselves. And anybody that doesn't like America, well, you don't have to be here. There's all kinds of places that you can go. See how your life is going to be in any one of these other countries. You'll be coming back and banging on the gate, begging to be let in. And that's really all I have to say.
I agree.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eunice. God bless you. God bless you. I think Eunice brings up a great point. It's so easy to be a critic. It's so easy to just be nasty rather than be somewhat constructive in your criticism. That's what I think. I want to put this in the poll. Will no boots on the ground in Iran, or will boots on the ground be required? Let's go here. Let's go paratrooper. What you got?
Hey, buddy, you know what? The only deal to be made with Iran is them unconscious on the floor, knocked out. It's time to stop pussyfooting around. He needs to just finish them off. Any deal that we make, it seems to me, we can't trust them, period. We can't trust them at all. So I don't know what deal could be made that where the opponent, no matter what you do, they still refuse to submit. So forget submitting them, knock them out.
I'm going to push back here for just a second.
Yeah.
When Reagan was negotiating with Gorbachev, you got to turn the audio down in the background. I'm going to hang up on you. I can't do the feedback. When Reagan was negotiating with Gorbachev, no one thought that deal would go anywhere. No one. And we didn't have social media at the time like we do now. But no one thought Reagan would pull that off. Let's go line 4. What do you got?
Good morning, Ben. This is DJ Razor from Arizona. Hey, I agree with everybody else that says we shouldn't trust Iran. And the other thing I'm thinking about is all the veterans that have given their lives, the brothers and sisters today, and for our freedom, even though for those of us that have served already. So, other than that, that's all I gotta say to the Navy boy today.
Well, thank you very much for the call. I appreciate you, brother. Looks like we've got somebody that chimed in here. Let's see. I've got this. John Billy, welcome back. Thank you for trolling. Trump said Reagan failed on Iran. John Billy, if you're going to appear intelligent, learn to spell Reagan correctly. You might want to capitalize some of those words there. But I believe Ronald Reagan did fail when it came to Iran. I believe Reagan was a great president. A couple of things that he did that I think have damaged America. Number one, the first mass amnesty deal was Reagan. Number two, he got rid of insane asylums. Number three, he kicked the Iran can down the road. So, John Billy, I'm going to give you a boom shakalaka, John
Hallelujah.
Billy. Thank you
And,
for sharing that.
Boom shakalaka.
You've been a troll here for years, and I appreciate it. I love the consistency of just being stupid. But Trump is right. Reagan did fail when it comes to Iran. So did Jimmy Carter. So did both Bushes. So did Bill Clinton. So did Obama. So did Biden. And if you want to really split hairs, maybe Trump should have done something about Iran during his first administration. But wait, he probably couldn't have because he had a clown like Mike Pompeo as Secretary of State, which could have very well been working against him the entire damn time. So, John Billy, thank you for bringing up a great topic there. John Billy, you're absolutely right. And I'm glad to see John Billy agrees with the president that Reagan failed when it came to Iran. Trump's the greatest president since Lincoln. There's a lot of documentation that Lincoln wanted the Civil War. Lincoln wanted the Civil War. Go and read, do some reading. There's a lot of evidence that points to that. Ben's cooking today, boys. What's up? This, that. Appreciate you. You can thank Reagan's wife for amnesty and the insane asylum closures. That was all Nancy. I can't prove that, but sure. Pompeo, awful. I'd love for you to rank in the chat. Who do you think has handled Iran better? Reagan or Trump? A T for Trump, an R for Reagan. John Boy, man. I really appreciate the topic shift there. I really appreciate it. Good intentions. What's up? Russ Michael, damn Ben, you nailed it on Reagan. I like Reagan. I like Reagan. I believe one of the other things that he screwed up was the DARE program. The DARE program in all the schools. If you don't think that was a funding source for one of these agencies to continuously have a drug task force, you're crazy. The DARE program, complete failure. I think basically all it did was educate kids on which drugs to use. That's what I think. Love to get your opinion. I hope this is John Billy calling in. Line 3, go right ahead.
Hey, Ben, it's Jim in Middle Tennessee. How you doing?
Morning, Jim.
Have a great holiday, sir. The only thing, as far as trusting Iran, the only thing that people need to remember is what they've said for the last 50 years. It's always been death to big Satan and little Satan.
That's right.
That's all you need to know as far as trusting anything that they do or say.
I think we have to, anything they say, we have to verify. We cannot trust. We have to verify. Thank you, Jim. Let's go, Brian, Lima, Ohio. What you got, Brian?
Hey, happy early Memorial Day, Ben. Thank you for your service.
I never say happy and Memorial Day in the same sentence, but you go right ahead.
Okay. Hey, I've got a observance. All this stuff about Trump and Iran and all these people complaining about how Trump's taking care of Iran. I think all the lifelong politicians are just ticked off because he's actually doing something about it, and everyone before him ran their mouth and did nothing.
You're absolutely right. You are 1,000% right, Brian. Somebody just pulled up a comment here. How many body bags came back from Iran under Reagan? A bunch. Thank you for calling, brother. God bless you. That's a great point right there. Aztec Styles. I think that's the way you want me to say that. Trump said 4 to 5 weeks to defeat Iran. He was wrong. Dane's laughter. Dane, what is 4 to 5 weeks compared to 8 to 9 weeks? Is that really bad? Would you have rather seen more death? Would you have rather seen more stuff like that? Dane, why don't you call in? That's a good point. I'd love to get your opinion on that. 615-475-7864. Dane, I'd love to get your opinion on this and express your opinion to the crowd. Come to the mic. Come to the ditto head microphone, right? We got a mic just like Rush because we wanted to continue this. Dane, I would love for you to come and explain to us why it taking a little longer is a bad thing. Are you really that upset? Michelle says, compared to 20 years in Iraq, I think this is a pretty good win. Mercado fans up early. Yeah, no kidding, right? All the trolls. They're out and about this morning. I don't have a problem with anyone coming into the chat and sharing any other opinion. I really don't. But at least back it up. At least try to back it up. We've got Benjamin Netanyahu just came out with a statement. This is going to trigger the trolls. Let's go here. I want to see this. Let's see how this triggers the trolls. This is a statement from Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's see here. Expresses deep appreciation, unwavering commitment to the security of Israel, including enduring Operation Roaring Lion, Epic Fury. President Trump also reaffirmed Israel's right to defend itself against threats on every front, including Lebanon. Now, let me ask this question. What do you all think about this? With Benjamin Netanyahu, excuse me, the allergies are killing me this morning. What do you think about Netanyahu coming out and saying, we're going to protect ourselves no matter what. The president of the United States says we could. I am okay with Israel doing what needs to be done to take care of themselves. That's what I believe. I wouldn't listen to Mexico if they told us we couldn't defend ourselves. So why should Israel listen to anyone if they're told that they can't protect themselves? Let's see here. It looks like Rubio is expressing the exact same damn thing right now in India. Let me grab this clip of Marco. Let me see here. Marco sharing this is very, very interesting that he is going with this. Let's go right here. Oh, Marco. Let's play this clip of Marco Rubio. Here we go.
On the other hand, Iran likes to sponsor proxy groups of terrorists. And these terrorists don't care what they blow up. They blow up anything and everyone. Okay, this is who we're dealing with. Okay, this is an Iran that not long ago, through their Hezbollah proxies, blew up a Jewish center in Argentina and killed a bunch of people. This is an Iran that innovated the use of roadside bombs that killed and maimed a bunch of people, including American servicemen, but a bunch of other people. This is an Iran that has organized the assassinations and the attempted assassinations of people all over the world, including, civilians and dissidents and people that.
I believe Marco Rubio is correct here. Absolutely correct. That Iran has been the number one sponsor of terror going back a long damn time. So what are your thoughts there? The Strait of Hormuz, it looks like traffic is somewhat flowing right now. Looks like traffic is back to, I wouldn't say normal, but there's a lot of green arrows that are maneuvering through the Strait of Hormuz right now, which tells me that's a good sign. That tells me there's a lot of stuff on the horizon of ships that are about to take up anchor. The red dots are anchor. The green arrows are they're actually in traffic outbound and inbound, which is going to definitely help the cost of oil around the world right now. So I'm happy with that as well. I'm happy to see that. And if anybody doesn't like global commerce, well, you're just going to be upset for a long time. You're never going to be happy. Let's go here. I want to see if there's any updates on Fox or any of the news networks. Suspect dead after the shooting. Let's go here. The lines are open. If you've ever wanted to call in and talk to me, you're more than welcome. Now's your opportunity. 615-475-7864. Just turn the audio down up there at the top and you're welcome. I try not to discriminate. Let's see here. Trump plans to reopen the Hormuz Strait in nearly final Iran deal. Let's go here. Where is that? Okay, let's go here. Let's play.
Welcome back to Fox and Friends. More details expected soon as President Trump reveals an agreement to end the Iran war that has been, quote, largely negotiated.
It would reportedly include reopening the Strait of Hormuz, more talks on Iran's nuclear program, and the future of its uranium stockpile, which the terror regime may have reportedly agreed to give up. House Speaker Mike Johnson joins us now at the Speedway. So great to have you, Mr. Speaker. So obviously where the details of this deal are still sort of emerging right now, but how confident are you that the president will manage to accomplish his main goal, which is to get nuclear weapons away from the mullahs of Iran?
I'm very confident. I talked with him late last night. He's as resolute as he's been from the beginning. This will allow 60 days to get all the details done. And his number one condition has been that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. We'll take care of the nuclear dust. We'll get the Strait of Hormuz reopened, which will be great for gas prices here and stability around the world. And that's why all the regional allies there and all the regional countries are following U.S. leadership under President Trump.
Let's just talk politics here. What does this mean for you and the midterms? Because I know this consumes your thoughts a lot.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Obviously, we've done a lot of work. The big, beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut, all of our legislation has been geared towards the cost of living, affordability, bringing the cost of living down. We put in all those conditions in the economy to let it take off like a rocket. And we were doing that at the beginning of the first quarter, and then the Iran skirmish began. So when this settles out, gas prices come back down to earth. That means your grocery prices come down again because of transport costs and all the rest. It's going to be a big factor. The kitchen table issues are going to decide the midterm.
Can those things come down in time to help you out in the midterm?
Yes, we got plenty of runway. We have better candidates. We have a fundraising advantage. We're super excited about the midterms. I'm absolutely convinced that we're going to grow the majority and we'll get this done and make history.
It seems like there's likely going to be news on this Iran deal in the next 24 hours. We shall see. Our reporter in Tel Aviv, Trey Yingst, following it.
Okay, question for you right now. I do like that comment, mutual assured destruction. That's exactly what we've seen for years. My question for you before we shut down the show, today's my wedding anniversary. So I'm about to go to church, celebrate my wedding anniversary with my beautiful bride. I would like to get your thoughts. Are we about to see gas prices drop? Line 2, go ahead.
Hey,
Something's bad there. It sounded like a crime scene, or you were calling from way away. Let's see here. What does that say? You can't get around without the raft. Line 2, go right ahead. Nope, your phone sucks. Don't call back. Whoever's calling from the 805, your phone sucks. Get a new Obama phone. Get a new one. Oh no, tax on tips, but. Oh no, tax on tips, but. Doug, I think you're one of those people that will never be happy. And, you know, I really appreciate people that can never be happy because it makes me so much happier. I feel so much better seeing all of the people that are upset. Doug Paxson, why don't you call in? A lot of people are wanting to flush Doug. Come on, Doug, give us a call. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free. But yeah, today's my wedding anniversary. Married the best woman in the entire world. And she married the best guy in the world too. Let's go line 3, go.
Hey, Ben, I know you're trying to get out of here and have you.
No. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Like, for real. But real quick, hey, USMC here. Just want to let you know, Dave the Patriot, calling you again.
Semper Fi, brother.
Why is everyone so afraid to just let the Marines go do their job? Seriously. I mean, we just go in there, bust for 2 months and be out. And it'll be way better than saying, yeah, we got a deal made. That's going to be broken the next fucking day. Pardon my language.
You know, I don't think the president is afraid to use the Marines. I think as many peace deals that this president has accomplished and wars that he's ended, I think if he could make it through 2 terms without getting us into an actual war, he would accomplish more than all these other presidents. Think about all the conflict that Biden got.
No, you're right on that way. Yeah, I understand. It's a for him to be elected type thing. Yeah.
And you served. I'm assuming you served during a time, and you probably were deployed. I'm assuming.
Yep.
I'm just going to make some assumptions. And
yes, sir. We had some issues. Yep.
Yeah. And I think people that have been in combat want war the least. I think people that have served boots on the ground somewhere want that the least. And I think there's a lot of people that just frivolously think it's like a board game, Axis and Allies, Stratego, Risk, that the Marines, the military, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, they're just pieces on this global board game. And I think that's the way that previous presidents have operated. And I think President Trump doesn't think like that. And I believe that one of your fellow devil dogs is there in the White House with him, JD Vance. I don't believe he thinks like that. I don't think Pete Hegseth. I used to work for Pete Hegseth. I know that Pete doesn't think like that. And I think Pete has been the best Secretary of War going back to McNamara.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Love him to death.
I
just want to, I just want to say, repping the Marines, a lot of I'd say 50-50. Half of us would want to go, half of us don't. But the truth is, the honest, hard truth is, if we're not sent, the job's not going to be done thoroughly enough. It's just not.
You very well could be right. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I carry I'm a Second Amendment person, and I carry 24/7 from the minute I get up till the minute I go to bed. I carry
Good man.
that as an insurance policy. I don't ever want to have to use that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Does that make sense? And I'm sure
Right.
you're probably the same way. You sound
Absolutely.
you sound like a logical Marine. Obviously,
Yes, sir.
red was not your favorite color. You probably ate the blue ones.
Yeah. You have a good day. Happy
Hey,
anniversary,
I
buddy.
appreciate you. I want to say thank you for your service and for the service of all those that came before you, going back to, the halls of Montezuma, the shores of Tripoli, Bella Wood, everything going forward. I really want to say
Right
thank
back
you
at
for
you,
your service.
Bubblehead. You guys, silent service for the record. You guys are great.
You take care. Thank you for the call, brother. God bless you. It's interesting to hear a veteran. Chicago Red Giraffe. Thank you so much. I'm taking my wife. We're going to dinner in Eureka Springs. We're going to a place called the Grotto tonight. If anybody's in Eureka tonight, let's talk to Bobby in Tennessee. What do you got?
Hey man, happy anniversary, buddy.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I can't believe you found somebody to put up with you for so many years.
It's a really amazing accomplishment, Bobby. It really is.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hey, listen, this deal, if it goes through, 2 quick points. One, the mainstream media is already writing up the banter on how bad it is for us. For one thing, because Trump can do no good. He can do no good. All of a sudden, the Iranian people will be oppressed by the United States. I can see it coming. And number 2, the way this deal, I think, and we're going to watch, and you can remember this because I'm going to call you back if it happens. The day it's signed will be the day boots are on the ground digging up the uranium. That's where we will use our military, and they won't be able to do a damn thing about it.
Some combat engineers, maybe some CBs.
Yes. Well, that's what I was. I was an Army engineer, and I'm proud of my father and grandfather. They were both Air Force. My father was a fighter pilot in Korea.
Well, thank you for calling, Bobby, and big shout out to their service. God bless them.
All right.
Great call from Bobby. It looks like. Okay, so we've got something coming out right now. We'll get to it after this call. Let's go line 4. Go right ahead. What's up, Joey? You bring up a great point. Do you think Kamala could have gotten Iran to come to the table? I agree with that. I agree with that completely. Joey in Wisconsin, I really appreciate you, brother. God bless you. Take care.
Hey, happy anniversary, brother.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Gave me a big shout out. Maybe a little mess up with the line there. He was saying, for those that the audio cut out, that he doesn't believe that we would have gotten here with a Kamala presidency. I don't believe we would have gotten here with a Kamala president. I want you to see what old Trey Yink says. We've got a little bit of an update coming out from a White House official.
A senior administration official just briefed a small group of reporters about the ongoing negotiations with the Iranian regime, indicating this deal will not be signed today, but there is significant progress toward a deal. I asked this senior administration official about the issue of Iran's highly enriched uranium and other enriched material. The official says that if the Iranians make significant accommodations on the enrichment question, then we will make significant accommodations on sanctions relief. As for the other enriched material, the official says, we do not think that a final deal will permit enrichment, going on to say, if we have a final deal where the Iranians are enriching, then you don't have a final deal. And also one important note, though, about enrichment. The plan here is to deal with all of the enriched material to ensure that the Iranians do not ever have a path to a nuclear weapon. Now, this senior administration official, Jackie, also talked about the Strait of Hormuz amid reports today in Iranian state media that the agreement would focus on the number of vessels allowed through this critical waterway and not the return to status quo. This official telling this group of reporters, we do not think a toll is an acceptable outcome, indicating that the United States will not be on board with the Iranians charging a toll for vessels to pass through this waterway, where around 20% of the world's global energy.
So this is a White House official came out and spoke to members of the press. If you have a final deal where the Iranians are enriching, then you don't have a final deal. So this is a hard no for the president right now. Hard no on enrichment. If there is anything other than you don't get to enrich, this is gone. It's a non-starter. Howard's Gardens brings it up. And if this is all true and other reports coming out are true, this is massive. This is a massive victory for the president. Line 3, go right ahead.
Mr. Dykes.
Yes, sir.
It's Chicago.
Good morning, Chicago.
Listen, my friend. First of all, I've told everybody, let the wheel turn. No matter how big the boulder or how thin the sand, the wheel will always prevail.
You've said that for months. You've said it for months.
I've said it for a year. So on the other side of things, people that are willing to talk are true leaders. People that don't want to listen are the people that eventually will have to answer to the man upstairs. So if you look at life as it is, we're very blessed every day, including you, your wife, and your daughter, me, my kids, my twin autistic boys. God gives you things that you can handle. You just need to slow down, step by step. And again, let the wheel turn. God bless you. God bless all those people. God bless all those people that aren't here with us that made it so we can be here today. Okay? And just everybody take 1 minute and take a breath of air. This is what God gave us.
You know, it's amazing to see so many people upset by Trump, Rubio, JD Vance being statesmen. Our founding fathers were statesmen first. When it came to being on the battlefield, that was part of it. But when you can win without needing that, or maybe just enough to force the negotiation, that's the meaning of a true statesman. And I think Trump could be the first real statesman in 40 years, 50. I think Eisenhower was probably another massive statesman. I think Nixon was a statesman. And I think that scares the hell out of the left, because they have always been quick to the trigger for just launching strikes and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing, as far as the left goes, I feel like they're the ones that didn't get that extra half cup of apple juice at dinner because the older one did, because he was the one that was out there working.
You're right.
So he's the Republican, the kid that got the half a, cup of juice. Okay. And then the whiner, like, I'll give you for instance, and this goes back, okay, is Rahm Emanuel. Okay. Yeah. You know me and Rahm. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. So let's go on. Let's give somebody else a call. Listen, Godspeed, brother.
God bless you.
I got your 6. Hey, one thing though, there's 2 numbers for me. So one's under Cary and one's under Chicago. So I'll let you work that on your end.
Take care, brother. Be good. God bless you. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the donation. Wise Wessenman, thank you for at least letting me express myself. I'm pro-Trump, pro-Republican, pro-America, but war's a mistake. I don't want anyone to go to war unless it is just every other option's off the table. Line 2, go right ahead.
Good morning, Ben. Happy anniversary to you and your bride.
Thank you.
You know, I went into the Coast Guard in '85. I have friends that from junior high that lost guys in Beirut in the foxholes. I got out 3 years before everything went down with the Gulf War in '91. I know too many people with PTSD from that. I really don't want war with boots on the ground. I want everything taken out, all the uranium, everything. They should have nothing. You know, to me, it's just, I just don't want to see full force, hand to hand, innocents dying over there, you know?
Yeah. I
mean,
completely agree with that. Completely agree with you. It's amazing how quickly the bloodthirsty warmongers came out of nowhere, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I believe. The bloodthirsty warmongers just came out of nowhere, right? It's crazy.
They did. And you know, when the Gulf War broke out in '91, I was 3 years out. My brother was 2 years out. My mother was terrified that one or the other of us was going to get pulled back in. You know?
Yeah. Call back up. Yeah,
War
absolutely.
is hell. It takes innocence. I just want this conflict to end. Iran to have a chance for some type of rebuild that's good for their society.
Yeah.
And to hell with all the douchocrats and all the evil they continue to push forward. I'm just tired of it.
I'm telling you right now,
God bless you, Patriots.
Thank you for calling, Bruno. God bless you. I'll tell you right now, as somebody that works in the veterans realm, dealing with veterans that have really been in some real combat, their lives are changed forever. Their lives are changed forever. They have trouble holding jobs. They have trouble with relationships with their families. People that have been in real combat, it changes them forever. I think it changes something chemically in them forever. And it's not good to witness. It really not. It affects families. Had a couple of super chats roll in here on the Cash App. Let me put that up there for anybody that wants to donate via the Cash App. Looks like Jeremy, $10. Happy anniversary. Thank you. And Tammy Sue with $100 donation on the Cash App. Thank you, Tammy. God bless you. You're the best. Let me give y'all a big boom shakalaka from the man himself.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, Boom, we could do Boom Shakalaka. We love the Boom Shakalaka, you know. Nobody booms and shakalakas as much as I do. I do it better than anybody. I invented it, believe it or not. A lot of people don't realize it. They say, sir, what are you doing? I said, I'm doing a Boom Shakalaka. And they say, sir, we've never seen anybody do it quite like you're doing it, but we're doing it very well. And I can say that.
There you go. That's a good friend of mine, Sean Farish. He was on the show multiple times. Ben, happy anniversary. Happy belated birthday. Just got older myself on May 17th. Appreciate everything you do and stand for. Have a great day with your wife. God bless. Yeah, we're going to dinner tonight in Eureka Springs, a little place called the Grotto, which is it's one of our favorite places to go eat, without a shadow of a doubt. Lines are open. Sorry about this cough. Man, I'm sorry about the cough. The cough is, oh boy, I've been hurting. Let's see here. Let's see what else we've got. I'm glad to see that some people are starting to realize how much of a statesman that this president currently is. What does that say? PTSD is no joke, long road. I deal with men and women every day that suffer from things that, occurred with them. One of the worst things that I ever, and I would like to um, give a shout out. Let's see here if I can find, let's go line 3. What do you got, line 3?
Hello,
Yes, sir.
sir. How you doing, buddy? Happy anniversary to you.
Thank you very much.
All right. When it comes to Iran, I just believe that Trump, our great commander in chief,
I think you hung up on me. Call back. Call back. I want to give a big shout out to a fellow submariner. And he was on the USS Nebraska. His name was Michael Gentile. USS Nebraska SSBN 739 Gold Crew. He was a machinist mate. Passed away September the 20th, 2007? No, 2008. He was working on the rudder machinery. They were off the coast of Oahu, off the coast of Hawaii. And he got tangled up and pinned in the rudder mechanism. And he passed away. I didn't know Gentile personally. I wasn't friends with him. He was on the opposite crew. But when something like that happens to a sailor on a submarine that you served on, it touches home. It really does. And I'd like to give a big shout out, Memorial Day shout out to Michael Gentile. And then I would also like to give a big shout out to my grandfather, World War II veteran, Wilson Dykes. He was a belly gunner on a B-29s. That's my grandfather from World War II. And he was in a station in the UK, did multiple air raids over England. He was a belly gunner. That's my grandfather there. And miss him every day. Miss him every day. His stories were amazing. I was a kid that got to hang around with World War II veterans and listen to them talk. I got to hang around with Vietnam veterans and hear them talk. And I believe that's what helped me become a man, listening to men speak. Sergeant John Toombs, U.S. Army, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Afghanistan. I think that's the difference we're at in society right now. Young men are hanging around people that are not men. Let's go line 3. Go right ahead.
Hey, Ben, this is Belinda calling in. How you doing? Happy anniversary, buddy.
Thank you very much. What would you like to say?
I've made it through 2 chemos, and I'm really doing good. I wanted to make an acknowledgement to my uncles who didn't make it home from World War II. My Uncle Larry was killed in action, and my other uncle was in the Death March. So
wow, Bataan Death March. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm so proud of them, and I love them so much. I never got to meet them.
Yeah.
But
I got to help a lady the other day. A lady called into my office. Her brother was killed in World War II before she was born, and they had found the remains and were bringing the remains back to the United States. This was on Tuesday or Wednesday, and she was trying to find a photo of him. She had never seen him. And I helped her track down a photo of her brother, and they're bringing his remains back here to Arkansas to be buried at the National Cemetery. Gives a lot of closure for that family. I want to say thank you, and I wish you the best with your fight against cancer. God bless you. Thank you for calling. Lines are open. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to call in. Questions, comments, concerns, express your opinion on what's going on. Line 2, go right ahead.
Sir, you there?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
I'm sorry. Here in Orlando, technology doesn't go our way, I guess. My bad. So what I was saying was our great commander told the people of Iran before we got started with Epic Fury, Midnight Hammer, that we would come and save them and get the regime out so they can have their country back like it was 47 years ago before they took it over.
Okay.
Now, in this interim of what's going on, will he be able to make that happen? Get rid of them and give the people back their rights.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that by exposing the world to what Iran is doing, do you think this is going to enable the people of Iran to do some of the heavy lifting themselves, or should we do it for them?
Well, Ben, the way I'm hearing it and seeing it and known it to be is you're not just fighting Iran, you're fighting all the affiliates, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, all of them. They're all our enemy. They're all against America. Through all the wars, the Twin Towers getting taken down. Didn't Saudi Arabia have something to do with that? So the people of Iran has these other countries to worry about whether they're trying to overthrow who's in charge of them now.
Okay. Yeah. I can see both sides of the coin. I am a big proponent of, I don't want to give you some fish. I'm going to teach you how to bait your own hook. And I hope that's what's occurring here. I hope that they are enabling the people in that area to move forward. That's what I hope.
But are they being distilled by the surrounding nations?
We don't know because they're on an internet blackout for like day 105. And that's going to change things.
I think we're being lied to Donald Trump's being lied to by everybody.
Lied to by everyone. Okay. All right. And do you think that Donald Trump would just trust anyone to what they're saying without verifying anything through intelligence agencies?
Sir, no, sir. Our president is playing 10-level chess, all glass tables, all glass pieces. He's standing up, looking down, and he sees every floor, and he's moving his pieces and controlling the center. No, sir. I do not believe he believes in anything other than what he knows at 79 years of age.
Well, thank you for calling. I really appreciate it. You take care, and God bless you down there in Orlando. God bless them down there in Orlando. What is this? What is this? 20 years ago today, Al Gore's documentary, An Inconvenient Truth, was released. Wow. Okay, that was a horrible one. Let's see here. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give us a call. Love to get your opinion on what happened here. Officials say the suspect was arrested before trying to enter a White House checkpoint. Okay. Democrat Rep. Khanna, insane meltdown, saying the Supreme Court is rolling back civil rights. He's a liar. Shouldn't be in Congress. He wasn't born in America. Just in, President Trump. Let's see here. All right. H-1B visas. Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah, I am. Let me grab some of these comments here that everybody's put in. Let's grab some comments here. Got a lot of stuff rolling in. Ben, happy anniversary. Oh, there you go. I already got that one. Let's grab that. Prayers for President Trump, safety and victory. And now for something completely different. I don't know what that means. We're steer here, no drowning. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Ro Khanna is a communist. I'm going to agree with that. Vietnam vet, 59,473. Not forgotten. We got a standard FJB rolling in. I'm okay with that one too. I think that is something that we have to remember, that we came very close to a mutual destruction of our country by FJB and FKH. Koga Bones, where's Daisy? She's in there sleeping on the couch. Well, actually, she's got a big bed. It looks like a couch. Never forgotten Sentinel. Amen. Let's see here. You guys are forgetting the lesson. Oh, here we go. You guys are forgetting the lessons of history. You won World War II. with quantity, not quality. You're fighting the same way the Germans did. Now it's a losing strategy. Red J is obviously a PhD in military history. So there we go. Let's see here. Weapons of mass destruction. Let's go, Brandon. All right, guys. With that being said, I think it's probably time to get out of here. You guys smash the like and subscribe button. Smash that on your way out.
Chief of the Watch on the 1MC, pass the word. Dive, dive, sound 2 blasts of dive alarm, pass the word, dive, dive. Dive, dive. Dive, dive.
Here we go again! Here we go again! Same old song again! Same old song again! Marching down the avenue! Marching down the avenue! We don't know when we'll be through! We don't know when we'll be through! Live, cry, live, cry! Cry, live, cry, live, cry, live, cry, live! A long, long time ago! Long, long time ago! Heard it on the radio! Heard it on the radio! Sounds so good to me! Sounds so good to me! U.S. Navy submarine! U.S. Navy submarine! Recruiter just inside here! Recruiter just inside here! Turns out I gave them 5 years! Turns out I gave them 5 years! Had to get out of boot camp! Had to get out of boot camp! They won't like the smoking lamp! They won't like the smoking lamp! Now I'm a submariner! Now I'm a submariner! Rolling in the deep, sir! Rolling in the deep, sir! Top secret mission, hush, hush! Secret mission, hush, hush! No one's gonna find us! No one's gonna find us! 6 months below the ocean! 6 months below the ocean! I can't remember the sun! I can't remember the sun! Can't write my wife no letters! Can't write my wife no letters! And Tony's gonna get her! Tony's gonna get her! But I won't trade this life away! I won't trade this life away! Makes it worth the Navy pay! Makes it worth the Navy pay! If I can't be a bobblehead! I can't be a bobblehead! Might as well just be dead! Might as well just be dead! A long, long time ago! Long, long time ago! Heard it on the radio! Heard it on the radio! Sounds so good to me! Sounds so good to me! U.S. Navy submarine! U.S. Navy submarine! Live, fly, live, fly! Fly, live, fly, live, fly, live, fly, live! Hey, sailor! Hey, sailor! Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Coral Sea! I've been to Coral Sea! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for freedom! Fighting for freedom! Hey, sailor! Hey, sailor! Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Korea! I've been to Korea! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for freedom! Fighting for freedom! Hey, sailor! Hey, sailor! Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Vietnam! I've been to Vietnam! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for freedom! Fighting for freedom! Hey, sailor! Hey, sailor! Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Desert Storm! I've been to Desert Storm! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for freedom! Fighting for freedom! Hey, sailor! Hey, sailor! Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Afghanistan! I've been to Afghanistan! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for freedom! Fighting for freedom! Hey, sailor! Hey, sailor! Where have you been? Where have you been? I've been to Iraq and back! I've been to Iraq and back! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for freedom! Fighting for freedom! Hey, sailor! Hey, sailor! Where will you be? Where will you be? I'll be where I have to be! I'll be where I have to be! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for liberty! Fighting for freedom! Fighting for freedom! Live, cry, live, free! Cry, live, free! Live, cry, live, cry, live!
Okay, guys, gals, girls, it's Ben Dykes Show. Smash a like and subscribe on your way out the door. See you in the next one. Ben Dykes Show is out.
We could do boom boom shakalaka. We love the boom shakalaka, you know. Nobody booms and shakalakas as much as I do. I do it better than anybody. I invented it, believe it or not. A lot of people don't realize it.
Rock on, salute, God bless you. Bubbleheads forever.